if you're not willing to risk a little bit every day for yourself and for others. So what happens when somebody gets angry at you and you've tried your best? You get upset. What if you just smiled? As if nothing was wrong. You just smiled at them, as if nothing was wrong, and you stay silent. That's what you got to do. I'll tell you right now. We've all been set up. We've all been set up. You know what? It doesn't matter how many are in a family, everybody has their own personality, right? And everybody should just have their own personality. But really, truly, everybody doesn't have their own personality because everybody's looking for approval from a family member. And it's usually the bully. It's usually the person with the least confidence in themselves that are trying to control everyone. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. You know, when people are really stubborn and you can see it, just really stay connected to your heart. It's not that they're trying to offend you or attack you. And just smile and don't say anything. Let them say what they need to say and then let them walk away with it. Let it just simmer like a stew and let it all just simmer. I'm telling you, if you come from your heart, it's not always going to work out. But I'll tell you something. If you come from your heart, you will allow it not to work out and be just perfectly fine with it. If I came totally from my heart with this training, and I've got people in here that, and believe it or not, that are angry or despise me or just said this was not worth it, I'm okay with that. They'll take it home, they'll work with it. What are we trying to sell here? Not trying to sell anything. We're trying to get people to buy into themselves. At the end of this, if they go home and they truly don't like me at all, but they found something about themselves that they're not going to hurt themselves anymore, that was the goal. Not to get them not to like me, but the goal was is to have them more gentle, more loving for themselves. They paid me money and said, help free me. So that was actually my job. So I know that's my job. You know, when you work with people and you take them to the emotional edge of mirroring, and they can see certain things about themselves, they're going to get upset. Or the subconscious is going to want to protect it. Do you want to be liked? Or do you want the people that are in your life and your family to love themselves enough that they quit hurting themselves? Because that's truly why you suffer. How many people here would love to just be able to say something or do something to free a family member or a friend of their pain? That's everybody, isn't it? We all want a better world. And you know what, this is going to sound really arrogant, but until somebody like myself becomes the president of the world, there will be no world. But the reality is every president except for one in the United States in the last 500 years has been related. And they've all been related because they've all come from the same Serpentville. Everything is orchestrated, everything is planned. And now they just come right out in the open and they show you that they can rig the greatest election, biggest election, most powerful election in the world right in front of your face, and you're not going to do anything. And the thing is that we never do anything, do we? Not really, we don't. What do we do? We complain and we explain, but we mainly just complain. And we talk amongst each other. And do you notice that we don't do that here, do we? No, because it's time to mind our own business. They want us to complain. So the reality is how much do you complain to yourself? Figure that out. How much do you complain in a day about things? I guarantee you it's going to show you what your life looks like. I don't try to fix things, I try to love things. I don't try to love them, I do love them. Somebody said to me, you know what? I don't mean to be like this, Daryl, but every time I come near that person, my energy doesn't feel good. And I said, you know why? Because that person has really bad energy. Really bad energy. And they don't notice that. That's why. And then that person says to me, what should I do? I said, honestly, go around the people that make you feel good. Just like don't eat the food that makes you feel sick. Don't drink the things that make you feel sick. Don't do the things that are not loving. Don't do that. Yeah, but I feel bad because I don't really feel like being around that person. I said, well, you just didn't make any sense what you said, because being around that person makes you feel bad. So now you're going to feel bad if you don't be around them. See, you have to understand something. I said you should try to love everyone. You don't have to love their beliefs. People aren't bad, but their beliefs can be bad. And you can have a bad enough belief that it's a toxic belief. And the toxic belief, if you feed it long enough and strong enough, it becomes alive. Some people would call that demons. Some people call them entities, right? That's why, when you go to a bar, it says, pick your spirit. Person says the next morning, I can't remember I said that or did that. But then after a while, if you have very, very toxic beliefs, entities will come into you. Whatever you feed long enough and strong enough will grow. Whether it's unconditional love or it's not. It's something else. So that person is always going to be struggling, and you can see them. They could be anywhere doing anything, and they're just struggling. You can see their struggle. It's continual. You're really here to mind your own business. Because when you mind your own business, like somebody said this morning, I got the stick out. And I got this. I know I have this. And I could tell. You could see just the light just went right up. Boom. And she confirmed it with the F word. Because the F word is an exclamation mark that I'm not going back. And if anybody noticed, she confirmed it with the F word 3 times in 2 minutes. And you know what? That was the most important thing she did, because that even has its place. That word can be used for many different things, and words can be used for many different things. But that was it. She's not going back. Most people when they come to this course, they go, I had no idea. I just know that's the majority. I had no idea. I knew I was going to come. But I didn't know really what the course was going to be about. And then they come here and they don't have any idea. And then halfway through the course, it's like, oh God. Saddle up, baby. Right? So yeah, I don't like everyone. Do you like everyone? That'd be crazy. And does everyone like me? No. Does everybody like me in this class? Absolutely not. Am I okay with that? Absolutely. Am I going to work with them as much as the person that does like me? I'll probably work with them more. Not to get them to try to like me. But the reality is, if you're really going in and you're just trying to get them to believe in themselves, I'm not trying to get you to believe in me. I'm not brainwashing you to follow me. I don't want you following me. I want you to become leaders. I mean, come on, throughout the whole week. If I can help you do your own show on YouTube, I'll do it. What is it you want to do? Oh, you need an office? You want to do something? You want to create something? Let's see if we can do this. You don't want to follow anyone. You don't want to follow anyone. You want to find people that are flying, find out how they got the plane off the ground, and then you just want to stretch your wings out and really start to find how infinite you really are. That's all you want to do. Tell me that these elite psychos haven't put their hooks into us so deep. They're called meat hooks. And they've got us to sell ourselves off by the pound, with what we eat, with the way we treat ourselves, the people that we go to treat us. Look at what people call practitioners and healers and doctors. When you unconditionally love yourself and know that you are the most important thing in the universe, you will never hurt anyone again, and you will not allow anyone to hurt you again. And guess what hurt people do? What do hurt people do? They hurt people. They hurt people. So when I say I'm not going to take it personal, whether you like me or not, you take it personal and you get hurt. Now, if I took it personal, that would take me off track, and I can't be off track. I need to feel in there and go in there, whether it's a beautiful space or it's mucky, and be able to work with that with you. Anyways, when everybody, for the first time in the week, went and hugged everybody else, this is all the stuff that was just going on. Every hug had a different message. Every hug was different because everybody has a different filter and everybody's focused on something else. We're not focused on the same thing. What if your filter was corrupted? What if your focus came from a victim point of view, or that I attacked you? Where would that, what kind of hug would I be getting? The one-armed, the limp? Let's get this over with quick. Every hug tells a story. But see, you need to connect to that. Do you want to know how people feel and how they feel about themselves and you? Hug them. You got the desperate hug. You got the warrior hug. You got the dog pat. Start noticing things in your life. Wake up to things. And don't judge them. Guilt is not good. And if you judge, you have guilt. If you judge, you have guilt. That's it. Oh, and don't you just love this one? Wait for Judgment Day. We all know, we've all heard about Judgment Day. Well, you can take that and shove it where the light doesn't shine, because that's where it belongs. You're going to get yours. Really? Seriously? 4,200 different religions? Seriously? With most of them, I'd be dead already. With most of them, I'm going to an infernal hell because of my arrogance, because I won't get on my knees and beg God, please. Seriously. You think God is a dysfunctional old man with food in his beard, and he's on Prozac, and he wears his white straitjacket every time he has a temper tantrum? What is it you guys think? Seriously. Judgment Day's coming. Well, you just said it was. You are the creator of everything you have and everything you shall be. Okay, let's change subject because we're going to move on here. Anyways, I just thought I would share all the different things that I felt going through the hugs here. You know, it's okay, you know, you can lock into a person's emotions and feelings. You're not going to get it on you. I just love these people who are practitioners. Oh my God, I worked on this person and they just drained me. Oh, I just feel so dirty. I get it all the time. Really? Wow, you're powerful. Hey, I'm called a human sponge. I mean, the sponge thing was supposed to be over by the time you're 7, wasn't it? Because that's the way we've been built. Because our brain was manipulated in a lab, okay? So I've only got 10% of a brain and 90% of a subconscious, so that by the time we get here from 0 to 7, they can program us. And then we got to crawl ourselves out of hell. The hell that they made up that doesn't exist. Oh, I'm just so over it. I'm just so over it. Go ahead, squirm like you've got the demon in you. I haven't got time for it. Are you done yet? You're not unworthy. You're not unholy. You're just beautiful. But how do I sell that to you? Can't sell it to you. You've already put yourself in hell. Some of you say you need to be there for a year. Some of you, you've got eternity already. I mean, we proved that, didn't we? Did anybody notice the people that came here that wouldn't smile at the beginning? Some of them still refuse to smile now. And if we get the whole gang and we talk to them and we bring them out into the open and we go, come on, let me see you smile, let me see you smile. They'll smile, and then when everybody's not looking. They have condemned themselves to hell for the rest of their life. And I know that some of you that are here that do that, that are in the room, I'm not picking on you right now. I'm trying to tell you that you have a chance to escape. My God, the key to set you free is the smile. The connecting to your breath, the shoulders back. That's all you had to do. The physical changes the emotional that fast. Did you know when you smile, you bring your pH up? I can't get rid of this cancer. Yeah, I believe it. Anyway, so I was asked, what should we do when we want to get rid of all of those invisible bonds that bind us? I don't know how long I'm going to live. I'd say it's in between 85 and 95, to be honest with you. I don't know. 86 seems to come up, but you know that may change because you know whatever you focus on, you get. So maybe when I get to 85, I'll change it really quick to 87. Right? But the reality is this, I'll be as flexible as I am now. You know, people say, how old are you? I say I'm 46. I feel even younger, to be honest with you. I do. But yeah, I think I can't remember right now, I lie so much. I'm either 64 or 65. I'm 65, that's right. And guess what? I am not going to ever collect pension. I will never do it. Because the whole pension thing behind that is it's time to get the rocking chair, trying to find a hobby. I think I already have one. It's called enlightenment. I'm working on it. I'll be working on it for the rest of my life. You know? But I would never and it's not because I'm angry, and it's not because they do owe me money, but who cares? That's abundant too. But the reality is I'll never ever, the word pension, right? Every word has something attached to it. So if you don't make something out of it different, then it brings along its own energy, right? We know that. I mean, hate doesn't have the same vibration as love, right? Pension doesn't have the same vibration as abundance, right? So anyways, let me get back on track, because I'm off track. Maybe I'm not. But somebody said, so I'm coming for work. I said, well, the first work you always do is your heart. Yeah, I know, but somebody will say then, but I have a hip problem. What are you talking about? I need hip surgery. Well, you need hip surgery because you need heart surgery first. Okay? It's always heart first. It's always going to be heart first. So get your heart done first. Okay? And then after the heart, I would always do the abdomen, right? The core, right? You make me sick to my stomach. Think about 85% of all the pain you've ever had in your life. Yeah, but you're not going to think back a long time ago. You're going to think lately. So you're going to go, no, he's wrong. But it isn't. As a child and a teenager, and as a young adult, it was your stomach. It was not your stomach, but your core. Your stomach, your intestines, right? Your liver, your gallbladder. Okay, a lot of those emotional things down there. So you want to do your heart first, then do your abdomen. So it's called a heart release. It's called an abdominal lift with the non-surgical. We're going in and getting rid of scar tissue and adhesions because understand something. Everything starts off as an emotional block. That's why we go to the heart first. Because the heart records all your relationships, whether they be good or bad. All of them. All of them. And if you haven't gone in and made resolve, I hate my father. I hate my mother. I hate the world. You know, he broke my heart. My heart's in pieces. My heart is empty. My achy, breaky heart. Okay? All right? So first we do the heart because the heart has more potential than any other organ. So we go in and release that and get the fist that's around it. Like I said, most of you, if you lay down, okay, you'll see it'll be from 1/4 of an inch to 2 inches higher on this side. Nobody ever notices. Meanwhile, you're right-handed, most of you. So first do the heart, pull that apart, get that fist out of there, get the vibration energy back. Then do the abdomen, okay? Because we want to take all of those things that we swallowed and we couldn't digest, that made us sick to our stomach, and we want to unleash and release those invisible bonds. Then from there, let's go down to the pelvis, okay, because we've all been kicked in the groin a lot. On a sexual level, 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 because it's been made to be dirty. It was poison from the very time we get here, you know? I actually thought the first time that I had an orgasm, and I did it myself, I thought I would go blind. Because my father used to talk about that in church all the time. He was a pastor. You know, so I thought I was going to go blind. But, you know, I felt it was worth the risk. And then guess what? And after I did do it, I could see. That I was blinded. Yeah. So we want to do the pelvis and free that up. And then we want to do right from the tip of the coccyx all the way to the occiput. That's an 1.5 to 2 hour treatment. But then you'll be 1 inch to 2 inches taller. All the height that you've lost, no matter what age you are, depending on how much water you drank, how well you ate. 3 treatments will get you back to the same height you had when you were the tallest you were. Because you don't lose calcium, you dehydrate like beef jerky with your disc. It's all bullshit what they say, the surgeons. about you need to have surgery to repair your spine. You got to get the rods. You got to get the vertebrae replaced, or you got to get them fused, or you got to have the bolts. They've been subconsciously, unconsciously lied to. 95 to 98% of all surgery does not have to be done. That's why I say we're so willing to sell ourselves off by the pound. You know, I told you this, and I meant it, and those of you who already came and got therapy, you know why I can give a money-back guarantee that you're not going to surgery, right? Because I kick their ass. They don't go back to surgery. They don't go to surgery. Because everything is vibration, everything is circulation. And it's all about the scar tissue formation and the calcification and the crystallization that we have been blinded by, right? So everything you think you know is a lie. Just think how powerful your spirit is when they've been trying to kill you since the second you got here. And they've been plotting to kill you thousands of years already. Thousands and thousands of years, the same families, the same group. How sick would you have to be on getting off on torturing and poisoning and stabbing people? How sick would you have to be? Think about it. But all you have to do is have strategy. 20,000 people have actually hogtied 7 billion. Do we deserve to live? Some would say not. That's a lot of stupid beliefs. 7 billion people couldn't even come together in unconditional love and take their world back. They couldn't even do it for themselves. I'm not angry. I think I'm a little bit sad sometimes, you know. And then I gotta mind my own business and focus on my own life and go take a look at nature and how beautiful it is and how it wants to talk to me and love me. But my own friends and family don't sometimes. And it's just gonna be great, isn't it? Mind your own business. So we're going to start off with the heart, then we're going to do the abdomen. And when you do the heart, you got to open up the chakras, the solar plexus. And then you're going to do the abdomen, and then you're going to do the pelvis, and then you're going to do the spine, and then you'll do anywhere else you need to do. But if you're a woman, make sure you get the breast work. Women are tortured souls. They bring life into the world. This is true. For men, let's say if we had one bell, one whistle, women have 20 to 30. That's why they're such complainers, and they take most of the medication to suppress their emotions, and they get depressed. And you know why? Because men are manipulators. And they don't want to listen to them. But that's not true. Women are the strongest of all of us. They live longer. They're stronger because they bring life into the world. Same people that are trying to kill us off now have been trying to kill women and make them infertile. That's why they're always down there in your pelvis trying to tear it apart. We're going to be talking about the main thing that causes 95% of all surgeries, the Holy Grail, which is your large intestine, which the medical system and the food corporations and everybody else that hasn't got a brain is out there attacking on an unconscious, subconscious level because they don't know better. Women come to the planet caring already and have a love and a caring. Men have to learn it. It kind of sucks, eh? Because the reality is that, you know, they actually control the planet still. What do we have here? 4 men in the room here and 40-some women. 10 women for every man. Women are already standing up. Men don't stand up. They lost their testicles a long time ago. But they're programmed, so we're not going to pick on them, right? Everybody's programmed. So the issues in your tissues were caused by your psychological, because the psychological rules the biological. That's why if you really knew what unconditional love was, I don't mean to pull this in, guys, but I have to pull this in. Is it okay? You know what? Jesus could do hands-on healing because his love was that pure. Because love is the highest frequency in the world. It has all the supplements you need. Enzymes, minerals, vitamins. It has everything in it. It has all the nutrients in it. But you can't do it, can you? You cannot take it in. You cannot take that self-love in, that self-medication, that strongest thing. You cannot do it because of these psycho killers from thousands of years have ingrained it. Selfish, you're so selfish. Think that you could just unconditionally love yourself like that. Yeah, so yesterday somebody was watching the show the other day, and they called up and they said, "We cannot take this class." I get it. I'm amazed there's anybody even in this class. Look at what they try to do, and look at how much work it takes to get there, but it doesn't take any work. I never taught you anything except this week, except just, could you just unconditionally, totally love yourself, honor, respect yourself more than anyone else or anything else, so help me God. And there's people in this room that are still totally refusing to do that. Why? Because guess what? They would be going and dishonoring the family beliefs. But were they the family beliefs? Do you think that you're going to be able to unconditionally love yourself and care for yourself when nobody else does it in your family? Good luck. Good luck. Watch how they rally together on a subconscious level. How many people here, don't put your hands up. How many people here have decided they're not going to tell their family all the breakthroughs and all the fun they're having, and that they feel free for the first time in 10, 20, 30, 40 years? Told you not to put your hands up. This could be on film. You'll be in big trouble. No, you can't hide now. So, I don't want you to feel disturbed by what I say. I want you to feel freed by it. Because the best gift you'll give your family and your friends is the unconditional love. And if you can hold it for 9 months and just go, I love you, but I'll be honest with you, if things didn't change, I would either try to figure out how to leave here, or I would get sick, like 92% of the population. So yeah, we got to work on our minds, but guess what? Once you get the wolf non-surgical, that's it. And you know what? You were saying earlier, I'm working on myself. I'm doing all this emotional work. But now you flow down here for 5 days and watch. I'm not going to be here. I'll be in Tennessee lecturing at the Truth About Cancer. But you call me and you're going to go, hell yeah, I'm free. Hell no, I'm free, I should say. You're going to go, I'm free. But you're going to need more work, because you try to jam it all in 5 days. And also when you get on the plane, you're going to be tender. But you're going to feel free, because it's a different type of pain, isn't it? It's a pain of freedom, because the harder you treat yourself, mistreat yourself, the more that you disrespect, dishonor, the less that you protect yourself, the less that you truly love yourself, the more physical damage you have. So I have a lady who's coming, and she said to me this morning, "Oh, I just so want to believe you. I'm in a walker," she says, and nobody's been able to help me. I've been everywhere throughout the States, everywhere. Spent so much money. And I said to her, "Give me something hard to do." Because it's not. Okay, when you have the key to unlock something, it unlocks everything. The non-surgical work and learning how to love yourself is the key. It unlocks everything. I've offered a money-back guarantee since the age of 27. And I can tell you right now, you don't have to believe it, we've probably refunded 3 to 5 people. Just know this, the whole natural health world, body work world, don't know what the hell they're doing. Heck, they're doing. They don't. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't. They don't. If they did, you wouldn't be sitting here. If they did, you wouldn't be taking the course. If they did, you wouldn't be coming down here in the time of COVID with the end of the world coming. Right? Because everybody's reached the point of something's got to change in my life. Remember something, this is not about me. This is about all the people that I've got to know that have helped me put this together. It's not about me. This is about all the brilliant minds and the people that cared and loved their work, and then I learned their work and I took their work and I put it together. And now you're going to go out there, and it's not about me. It'll be about you. All the beautiful work that you can do, and then show other people. So when you're willing to go in with unconditional love and take a look at the way you treat yourself first and foremost, then you'll be treating yourself first and foremost. And then you got to get rid of the blocks. Like I said to Stephen, I hope you know that you can turn this, I want to believe that. He's still kind of on the edge about it, right? Now why? Well, I guess I didn't do a very good sales pitch. No, that's not why. Because the reality is, there's so many people like him. They're not getting better. And we all know that you go from a cane to a walker to a wheelchair to depends. That's just the system. So why would he be so lucky to have some change? Well, because the rest of them are so dysfunctional. The therapy is so dysfunctional. It wasn't supposed to be anything except that. I mean, do you guys not think differently now than you did just 7 days ago? Seriously? It's like the difference between day and night. For those of you that know that you deserve to be loved and get off the hook. Not for the rest of you. No, it's not going to happen. It won't happen. I'm guilty, or they're guilty. Unless that's gone, forget it. If you don't get rid of that, you're not going to get rid of anything. Okay, so let's finish off where we were yesterday. I'm going to try to do this in the next hour. What time is it? 12? There it is.
11:30.
It's 11:30. Okay, so I've got an hour and a half to finish this. Okay? And then we'll go for lunch. Okay? And then we'll come back this afternoon. And we'll go through the 4 pillars. And then we'll go through, try to see if we have enough time, we'll go through some of the more important 12 loving steps and just kind of tweak on them. So that when I'm away for this week in Tennessee at the Truth About Cancer, I'd really like you guys to look at the 4 pillars and look at the 12 loving steps. Watch the videos that are attached in there, okay, please, and then do the homework. And then when I come back, okay, we'll be doing morning sessions, okay? They'll be early though. I might have to wait though. I'll see how you guys are doing. You know, I don't want to run you down because the non-surgical is going to be hard. So when the non-surgical is over, you've got a day off in between. You've got your first the whole body non-surgical, and then you've got your advanced non-surgical. And in that day, if you want, I can come in for 2 hours and we can, you know, maybe do like your day off, do something sane, like 9 to 11, so you can still go to the beach, but not have to get up early. And then we could do a 9 to 11. And we could just go over the 4 pillars and the 12 loving steps. And then we could do a meditation to start, okay, in the tent. And then after that's over, then we can start doing our morning sessions and just keep progressing this stuff until you own it. Until you own it. Remember something, there's only one thing you have to do if you want to find you. You have to sell your subconscious on a new belief. And that means you have to repeat it and work it and work it and work. How do you get people to kill themselves? You give them worthless beliefs. And you make them the most strongest beliefs in their life. How do you get people to hurt themselves and their family? You give them beliefs that will do that. Now, how do you get people to heal themselves and their family? You give them that. So now we have to repeat it more. Why is there the same commercial on 5 to 6 times in a 40-minute show or hour show? 5 to 6 times. Because the next time that you have that condition, you're not even going to think about it. You're just going to get up and you're going to go to the drugstore. Or you're going to go to the cupboard. You're not even going to think it because we don't think. But then we only have 10% of a brain. And that's why you got to live full of spirit. Because your spirit, which is fueled by self-love, overrides the brain. You only need your brain to dump the chemicals. And if you're full of unconditional love, you're only dumping dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting high on this. Right? Because you can't heal unless you're running those. Okay. So anyways, we went through here. We talked about how the brain holds the programs, dumps the hormones, helps to make your decisions, runs you like a bloody robot. Hey, but if we know that we run like a bloody robot, why don't we be an unconditional love robot, right? Okay? So that when we're unconscious of what we do, we're only doing loving things to ourselves and others. Wouldn't it be great that you could be on autopilot and you never hurt yourself or anyone else? Well, that's what you're out to do. But you got to fly. First, love yourself. That's it. It's got to be you first. So anyways, we know that corruptive thoughts, corruptive eating, thinking, messes everything up. And then we know that the bottom line is the large intestine is the holy grail, 85% of your immune system. And we know that food corporations and the medical system, their main goal is to destroy the good bacteria in your large intestine. And I don't care what you think, anybody who's watching this or anybody who's thinking, but that's what their main goal is. They're after the bacteria. Because if they can destroy the bacteria, they can destroy your immune system. So then what happens is this large intestine that the Royal Society of Medicine in Great Britain, which is the medical system there, says that 85% of all illnesses and diseases can be prevented if this was maintained on a daily basis. And that's why we created the what? Perfect day. Everything revolves around here. So then you don't, so what you do is you poop into your pelvis. Everybody's pooping in their pelvis. If you were to respect this as the Holy Grail, you wouldn't be here right now. Because you would have had to have unconditional loving thoughts, to have a loving diet, so that it would come down and you're able to emotionally and physically digest everything, to assimilate everything, to eliminate everything. So everything is butt backwards. Okay. So you're pooping in your pelvis, and we know that the pelvis is like a bowl. okay? And what happens is the bowel collects the waste. So the waste from here goes into here. Bladder infections, cysts. A bladder infection is what? Well, you're pooping in your pelvis. The bladder just sits in front of the last 4 inches of your large intestine. Also, the last 4 inches of your large intestine also has 60% of all cancers. And what is the fastest growing cancer today? Colon cancer. Right, because we're rotten to the core, because we're spoiled rotten. And they did it on purpose. And you didn't, but now you know. So don't feel guilty, because we already said no guilt pays. There's no, learn, don't burn. Learn, don't burn. Okay, I screwed up. I apologize. I screwed up. I'm going to fix it. I screwed up. I'm going to be guilty for 10 minutes, 10 days, 10 hours, 10 weeks. No, it's not happening. I'm not feeling guilty at all. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Wait a minute. You can't let yourself off the hook that much. In our family, when we do that, we punish you for 6 months, and then you've got to punish yourself for at least another 6 months after that. Don't you dare let yourself off the hook. And if you do, we're all going to subconsciously, unconsciously come for you, and you will regret this. So you're pooping in your pelvis, okay? And you can no longer move like Elvis, right? Because of the infection creates inflammation, which creates the scar tissue formation in the whole area. That's why delivery is so hard for women, because of the inflammation that causes the scar tissue formation, the crystallization and the contraction. And, you know, you're like rusty hinges all in here. That's why it's so damn hard. That's why they opt for the cesarean. And they also know that you're going to have to be on more drugs. But we have to first infect your mind, to infect your diet, to infect the rest of you, to get all these terrible toxins into your pelvis, to make the crystallization, displaced calcium, scar tissue, so we make this a whole painful issue. A soup bowl of infection. So now we got prostate problems, bladder problems, endometriosis, fibroids, okay? Cysts to hold all the pus. The pus, a cyst is a pus sac, and the pus sac is from the infection. Did you know you can't have inflammation in your pelvis? You would never you'd never have hip surgery, you'd never have surgery in your pelvis, and most knee surgeries you would never have, and 98% of all low back surgeries would never happen if you didn't poop in your pelvis. And guess what? Everybody on Facebook, everybody on Rumble, everybody everywhere, you get yourself a surgeon and a doctor, and you meet me when I get back from Tennessee, and I want you on my show, and I want you to prove to the world that I'm wrong. Challenge me or shut your mouth. Challenge me or shut your mouth. Because guess what? All my brothers and sisters aren't just suffering. They're crying. They're dying. And then guess what? When you're in pain, you hurt your family. You hurt yourself. And this is what it's all about. That's COVID. That's COVID. See, when you're abundant like me, and you know that what is abundance? How I feel about myself. I don't have to worry about people if they don't want to take my course, do I? Do I? No. Because that means that they're not on this course. They're on their own course, whatever that is. Oh, really? You don't like me? God. Let me tell you something. There'd be a time in my life that I wouldn't come near a person like me. Arrogant, egotistical, thinks he knows something. God wouldn't want to know something. Okay, so pelvis fills up with waste, and guess what? Everything just rots out. The reason why the hips go is because, guess what? What happens when a cup fills up? It spills over. There, I just told you why every hip surgery is happening. And if you're booked for hip surgery and you've got it in 2 weeks, you fly down here and then be honest, we'll do the work on your hips. And guess what? And don't try to fake it. You're not going to surgery. I just need 2 weeks because I need enough time for you to just heal the tenderness and then do it twice. And then remember what I said? I would like to work on your heart first, abdomen, okay, pelvis, okay, all right, and your spine, and then we'll do your hips twice. You're going home skipping. And I don't care if you're having surgery. And if this is your second surgery, you're not going to have it. It's a lie. It's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. Okay? All right? Let me tell you something. You only get surgery when there's enough scar tissue. And you don't get scar tissue unless there's inflammation. You don't get inflammation unless there's infection. And you don't get infection unless you've been programmed for it. Because you're infected by dysfunctional beliefs. So it doesn't matter, it could be the knees, it could be the ankles, okay, wherever the weak point is, wherever there's already scar tissue, displaced calcium, crystallization, the more that's there, the less circulation there is. You know, everybody used to believe that telomeres decided how long you live. They found out they were wrong. Oh, and then, it's genetics. It's got to be genetics. Genetic shemetic. God, genetics, what a waste of time. Let me tell you something. There was called the genome factor. They spent taxpayers' money, hundreds of millions of dollars. They were going to put it to bed. This is it, everyone. We're just going to shut them the heck up. We're going to do this big study. We're going to prove that all disease comes from genetics. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you do know that when it finished, they said, everybody just go home. Please do not talk about this. Do not talk about this to anyone. No, I'm serious. This is how this went down. And guess what they found out? Diseases aren't genetic. Oops. It's all about the poops. So the reality is the way I talk and the way I teach, I sound really cocky, but then I did offer you a money-back guarantee. So if you're suffering and you want to come here and prove me wrong, and then if that's your intention, come, and then if you happen to not prove me wrong and get well, there is a side effect. But that's what we are. It's too good to be true. He couldn't be in love with me. I'm unworthy. This couldn't be for me. Oh no, don't give me that compliment. No, no, no. Don't do that. No, no. Oh, I can't accept your gift. Oh no, there's no programming going on here, guys. Anyways, we had to do this before we do that. Okay? So we'll come back, and I don't know how you want to handle this, but I need like a 5-minute break. Okay? Sean? Yes. I need a 5-minute break. So, or you don't want to just start at part 2?
We're a TV station, man. Let's keep it on.
Okay, we're a TV station now. Okay, so listen, we'll be back after these exciting commercials. Okay? Okay? Now, this pill heals everything. It's called unconditional love. We'll be back at you. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it. Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited. What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time. Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite. You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together. So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now, I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart, and we're going to become the spark that you seek. Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win. I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico, and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited, because this is your life. And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams, and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Good day, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. Do you know why you or your friends or your family are struggling with their health? Well, because they've never been given a strategy. And every time they go to see a health practitioner, whether it's medical or natural, all they're doing is getting Band-Aids. What if we were able to create a strategy that you could create the perfect day from the minute you woke up until you went to bed, and then we continue to guide and support you along your journey as you grow, your program grows. And what if you only paid one price, and you had unlimited support and guidance for the rest of your life? That's called the Perfect Day Consultation. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days. Or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life. And that's my guarantee to you. So somebody said, I just want to learn how to respect and protect myself. Basically, what they really said is, I just want to learn how to unconditionally love myself. That's all they said. Guess what? Now I'll give you the answer. Want the answer? You got to get emotional about it. You got to put some emotion behind it. Because everything is energy and motion. E stands for energy and motion. Energy and motion. Isn't it kind of funny that the answers are all in the words? Think about it, Lorraine. You've only changed when you put emotion in it, and then when you stop putting emotion in it because I haven't been around you or someone else that wasn't trying to supercharge you, you just went right back home to your low vibration because of your low vibrational relationship with somebody. You do know that you cannot have a low vibrational relationship with somebody for 10, 20, and 30 years and think you can take this course and go back there and be with them. Oh, you can, but guess what? You'll turn the burner down, but you don't turn the burner off. And I'm not picking on anyone. So what are you trying to say, Daryl? I'm just supposed to leave, give it all up? No, you're not supposed to give anything up. You're supposed to let things in. But how do I let things in? You can't go back to a low vibration, okay? And what did you say? I wish that he came to the course. If he came to the course, you'd be on course. And I'm not talking about my course, but you know when two, you know what? You see one eagle in the air, but when you see two, they lock, eh? They lock, and you can see them falling and playing. But when two fly together, that's how it all works out. You know what? You can't be together and not fly together. If you're together with someone and you're not flying together, you're better off to be alone. You're better off to be alone. Forget the church. Who cares about the church? Well, I'm not religious. Yeah, really? Really? Guess what? You could have never stepped into a church in your life, and I guarantee you that it's in you already. Things are so messy. And I'm not telling you to walk away from relationships, but walk into this one first. Lock into this one first. Make this one first. I have people in my family that I love dearly and they just don't get it. And if I get hurt every time they hurt themselves, there's nothing left in me. If I were to hurt every time my adult children hurt themselves, there would be nothing left of me. I just breathe, just stay there. Okay, fine. Okay. And then right away, as soon as I'm off the call, I change my focus. What was I doing? What was I being so selfish doing? Oh yeah, I was loving my life. Is it okay if I love my life? Is that okay with you? Is it? Oh, I really don't care. I don't care anymore. Okay, let's go over to the poop chart. All right, So, is this good?
Great.
Okay, make yourself comfortable, everyone. All right, so gut-brain connection. Guess what? Do you know what that should be called? Gut-brain disconnection. I don't want to be negative, but that's what it is. The medical system, the food corporations, okay, and anybody else that's part of the system, their job is to disconnect your gut from your brain. But before they disconnect the gut from the brain, what do they disconnect from you? Your heart. Your heart. It's selfish to totally love yourself. By the time you walk and talk, you have learned that you need to get your love from everyone else. When you first get here, you can throw up, you can have diarrhea, you can keep your family up all night. Doesn't matter what you do, you can poop on your dad, poop on your mom, you know? And guess what? They love you anyway because they see that beautiful spirit. Do you know what that spirit is? That's unconditional love. That's what spirit is, unconditional love. Then when you start walking and talking, who are you going to act like? The neighbor? The cartoons? Your parents. So you're going to act like your parents. So then your parents, guess what? They're unconsciously living in their subconscious. Now, if they're unconsciously living in their subconscious, then that means that anybody ever say, did you see what you just did to me? I don't know what you're talking about. I do this to you all the time. Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, so they don't even see the way they act. This is my personality. What are you talking about? No, it's not. Well, if you've been doing something long enough and strong enough, you believe it's your personality, don't you? Right? Yeah. What did you say to me the first day? You walked over to me and you said, is it okay if I believe in my religious beliefs and not yours, Daryl? Why would he even ask me that? I think the first thing that you need to say is, I'm going to make sure that I'm not too stuck in what I believe. So I already knew we were in trouble with you. We're in trouble with you already. So we know there's trouble. But not trouble for me, but trouble for you. First day he's here, he's going, is it okay if I finish the rest of the course here and my beliefs don't match yours? I'm like, you're not here for my beliefs. I'm here to challenge your beliefs to see if you want to become something else that might be gentler, more loving on you and your family. How did you get the religion in here? How did that sneak in here? Do you understand? Do you see a problem there? I didn't know what to say to him. You know what I should have said? No, it's either my way or the highway, buddy. Are you not a follower like the rest of these sheep? Are you kidding me? You're coming here to find your authentic self. So Ron said, I'm coming here, but don't you dare change anything about me, but I want to feel better. I'm not changing anything about him. I never would. That's not my job. But he said, I'm going to come here. You need to help me heal myself, but I'm not changing anything about me. Ron, what was wrong with that conversation?
Everything.
I don't want you to be me. You know what? Out of this week, you've heard a lot. And you took what resonated with you. You took what you were able to digest. Don't throw anything in the garbage. I never throw anything in the garbage. Why? Because it's going to come useful. Even if I don't like hearing something, I still just put it here on the shelf. Why? Because it's going to come in useful. You know what? I took 2 years of college, and most of it was microbiology, histology. Most of it was about diseases. And I remember when I got, why did I even do this? And then I went, Later I went, wow, boy, I'm using this all the time. It's not what I wanted to become, but I had to see what I didn't want to become. It helped me become what I needed to become. You see? Yeah, I like that. You see how you just turn that stuff around? Right? Oh God, I wasted 2 years. You know? Don't ever do that. You know, if you're struggling right now in here, that's what you're doing. You're looking for reasons to be wrong, to make me wrong, to make things wrong. Like that worried me a little bit, just a teeny bit. And I'm never ever, I won't call it sadness. I'm just like, man, he might miss the boat on this one. Or, you know what I mean? That's all. Not like I failed him, but dang. You know, and I can't give him a ticket. Like I can't give him the ticket to just go, here you go, you know? So I got to leave him with it. But I said, you know, I let it go. Do you know why you need to let things go sometimes? Because there's an opportune time, right? Okay, he came up here and I went, I'm going to get the bugger back. No, I didn't. You got to go in with love, and there'll be an opportune time because he might be understanding I'm coming from my heart now with this thing. But I didn't tell him to change, did I? I said, you just might want to look at that. I'll take your course, Daryl, but I'm not going to change my views. Okie dokie. Okay. All right, so gut-brain connection, it's really gut-brain disconnection. But before we look at this, because we are so physically oriented, we don't look at the heart. And the heart is everything invisible and everything beautiful. It's the recorder of all your love affairs. I would tell everyone that if you had 3 heart releases, you could probably heal every disease going. But you have to do some other work, you know, the invisible work too, right? Your face is looking great. See how things are changing again? It's all coming back. Yeah. My God. You know, when you came, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd day, I said, wow, she is aged. Didn't she look old? Wow. Wow. You know, you walked in and I almost said, no, it's not my grandma. Now, just so you know, Sharon and I, this is how we play.
Oh, yeah.
And this is how we should all play. Mm-hmm. Right? Okay? All right?
I'd just like to give you something to play with.
We talk about serious topics, but then we need to be able to joke around and have fun. And I guarantee you, sometimes when I go to joke around, you should see some of the faces. If you're sitting where I was sitting, right? Okay? I feel like I should have a shield, right? Because, you know, they're coming for me. Okay? So anyways, gut-brain connection, that's what we really would like. Okay, this is a picture of a normal colon. There is no such thing as that. Most of them look like bloody racetracks, okay? And they're all messed up, okay? 90% of the population has an autoimmune disease. It's actually 92, the last time I heard. So let's just leave it at 90. Abnormal is the new normal. And I talked about that earlier yesterday, and I just want to make this perfectly clear. Do you know why people are trying to get comfortable with being overweight and even obese? Why are they trying to make it into the corporations are making it into something that's beautiful? You know, embrace your beautiful you big beautiful you. And guess what? If I was overweight and I knew what the majority of population knows, I would be making myself comfortable with it. Because if the greatest minds can't help me lose this weight, if I don't learn to love every part of me, then I'm going to die. So understand, when I say things, I'm not picking on the person because they were set up. But now you do know that we are the minority now. You do know that only 20% of the population is close to normal weight. It's probably over, but 80% of the population is overweight, and guess what? I was going around going 40%. Now they're telling me it's like 46% of the population is obese. Okay, 1 out of 4 children are obese. 1 out of 4 children are obese. You know that 8-year-old and 12-year-old children now have fatty livers and cirrhosis of the liver. And they haven't drank any alcohol, and the mother didn't. Cirrhosis means scar tissue. Okay? And that's from what? Infection that created inflammation that causes scar tissue. And a fatty liver in a 12-year-old child, that's inflammation again. Okay? All right. So life and death begin in the large intestine. The bacteria in the large intestine represent 85% of your immune system. What is the medical system trying to kill off faster than anything else? 85% of your immune system. So when you do that, you're either dementing them, like it makes them mentally challenged. Do you understand? And when your bacteria become mentally challenged, if you go back and watch the other show we did the other day, then you'd understand your brain becomes mentally challenged. It's called gut-brain disconnection, because what happens when you mess with the bacteria, you no longer think right. You start having moods. Bad bacteria gives bad moods. Did you get that? I don't know why I feel like this. I'm going along and I'm feeling good. I've got everything to feel happy for, and I'm feeling depressed. I don't know what it is. What's come over? Bacteria. It's as simple as your bacteria. You think I'm kidding? Most depression comes from a depressed immune system, from a dysfunctional bacteria that were poisoned. The antibiotics are in the dairy. The antibiotics are in all animal products. Okay, and then the antibiotics that they have you take, and then the antibiotics, if you don't have a structure unit to structure your water, the frequency of the antibiotics is in all drinking water now. And even if you had the best filter, distiller, reverse osmosis, you're still taking the antibiotics because the frequency is still in there. Unless the water goes to the atmosphere and gets restructured, or it goes through a restructure unit, you're still taking the vibration of the heavy metals, the glyphosate, the chemicals, and the antibiotics and every other drug. Bet you didn't know that. All water that comes from the atmosphere is structured. That's why, even though it's full of heavy metals and poisons, it doesn't hurt the birds, bees, flowers, trees, microorganisms. The crops grow just as good now as they did 500 years ago, no matter how much little Billy is trying to kill us. Okay? All right. So that's what a colon should look like. But to have a colon like this, you can't have a twisted mind. If you've had a twisted mind, you've got a twisted colon. I feel like I'm in knots. I feel like somebody punched me in the stomach. Well, what do you think you're doing? You're twisting it. Okay? All right. So let's start, okay? So let me see, where do I want to start at? We'll just start up here. Yeah, this is where we need to start. Okay, all right. So everybody knows about diverticuli, right? Okay, out pockets from fecal rot. So understand this. How many people know that 60% of the population has diverticuli by the age of 40? So they don't know it until they go to what? Until they get diverticulitis. Diverticulitis means inflammation. So until you have inflammation, you don't have the x-ray. And then when you go in for the x-ray, it makes it even worse. But diverticulitis is, okay, so here, remember what I told you, small intestine, there's the ileocecal valve where the waste comes in right here. There's your cecum. The reason why you get your appendix out is because your appendix actually rots. It either rots out, even if you're a kid, or a little piece of cheese or a piece of meat falls in there and rots, and then you get appendicitis. Okay? Well, did you hear what happened? Yeah, a piece of broccoli got in there. Damn, I can't stand that broccoli. It's pretty dangerous. Okay, all right. So anyways, so that's why we get appendicitis. And if you did have appendicitis and you get your appendix cut out, you will have scar tissue grow here, and the scar tissue will root itself around the ileocecal valve, and it'll keep the valve open. Okay, SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth. But guess what it should be called? Okay? Small intestine backup. because it's actually, because of the scar tissue, it keeps the ileocecal valve open. And guess what gets to crawl back into your small intestine? Bad bacteria that should only be in the colon because the colon can handle it. But worms, they get back in here, we got trouble in River City. And that's where we get this problem, is the ileocecal valve. Now, if you take your elbow and do the Wolf non-surgical, it takes you 1 minute to shut the valve. The rust is the scar tissue. I can take the scar tissue and take it apart and make it into beautiful connected tissue where the surgery was. If you get surgery, okay, what causes more scar tissue? What's going on? You guys okay?
I was recording you, but I wasn't.
Wow.
I know.
You're kind of like a secret agent. Okay, so, you know, we always have to have one of these in the class, right? Bright lights. Okay, so surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else you can do. So what would you do after the surgery heals? Go to a Wolf non-surgical, and I do mean Wolf non-surgical therapist, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, but we had to set it aside from everything else, right? So we had to give it a name, okay? Because we're the only ones that can do it. We're the only ones that get rid of the scar tissue. There are other ways, but would you like to do it in 1 to 2 minutes? And I can prove it with muscle testing that I can shut the valve. Well, I could probably do it in 30 seconds actually, but no more than 2 minutes, okay? And then it depends. If you got the surgery, but then you kept an inflamed diet, an infectious diet, just how much more scar tissue would you have after the surgery if you had cheese and burgers and tacos going through there, which is very likely because the best place to poison yourself is in the hospital after surgery. Oh, here, have some ice cream. Oh, thanks a lot, man. I needed something like that. Right, the ice cream goes down, causes more inflammation. Okay, so now, when the waste comes in here, the cecum triggers. Now your appendix, which nobody needs, only manufactures your infection fighters and your good bacteria. That's all it does, so we should just get rid of it, right? And then when the waste comes in, then it causes a little tickling in here, and then these hostras will start contracting, and then the poop will move around, and as it goes around, it starts to absorb water out of it until about here it starts to form like a stool. But if you didn't drink enough water, didn't have enough fiber, didn't have enough life in the food, by the time it gets here, it's too dry. And now we got a bowel block. Now when I say to people that everybody suffers from constipation, people think that means you don't go. That's called impaction. Constipation means not everything comes out. Like I said yesterday, how many times do you go, I know there's a little bit more. Honey, you coming? You know, just got to get that little bit out. Think about it, how many times did you go and you thought there was a little bit more? Right now, you should be standing on a 7-foot manure pile. Now remember something, the more it stagnates, the more that you absorb it. Oh yeah, rot. Well, for one thing, bad breath. You don't have bad breath because of something you ate yesterday. You have bad breath for something you ate months ago, years ago. Let me tell you, I was doing a colonic on a gentleman that used to fly, okay, in the Second World War. So the tube is clear. So we're doing the colonic, right? And we're watching, I've got this mirror up here, right? Okay, so he's watching it and things are coming out, and then I see these really weird red berries coming out, and I go, what did you just eat? And he goes, stop that. So I stopped it, because you just turn it off, and I held it in the tube, and he goes, oh my God. I said, what? I haven't eaten those berries since I've been to this island 30 years ago. Wow. That can't be them. And I said, yes, it does. What happens is if your body can't get rid of it, mucus covers it, and it puts it in like in a sack, yeah, and it protects it.
Like an amber? Casing it like an
Well, it's actually like a mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a casing. So anyways, We saw like 3 or 4 of them. And he was just blown away. He couldn't believe it. And he goes, wow. And they look like the day I put them in. I guess he didn't. But think about that. Okay? Oh, and you'll see all kinds of things when you start colon cleansing though. You'll see worms come out, tapeworms, pinworms. And then you'll see these things, and they look like little fuzzy balls with like little legs on them, right? Those are precancer fuzzies. Okay? All right. So, anyway, so it comes around like this, but with most people, this is most people. This is maybe not this bad, but you know what? When you feel like, okay, I think I gotta go have a bowel movement, right? You should be able to just walk there, not run there, okay? Then when you get there, right? And squatting's always the best, but you know, they took that away from us and they put us on the throne, but we're no longer the, you know, king poop anymore because you can't do that. You close your legs, and when you're there, you need to squat. Squatting is how you do this, right? That's the way we were born, and that's the way we should be giving birth. That's the way we should be going to the bathroom. But that was taken away from us, right? This is all an evil plot. I hope you get that. And then we think that using toilet paper is so sanitary, but you know, in the Middle East, you use one hand for eating and one hand for wiping, right? And for washing, actually. And that's more sanitary than what we do. You think about it. You never totally clean your bum with toilet paper. Yeah. We're the unsanitary ones. So it's really what you just want to believe. Go ahead and believe it if you want. But they're really the sanitary ones. Okay? Now, so that's called the balloon sigmoid, and that's impaction. So see, you can go from here to actually here. This is spasm. So remember the last time that you felt cramps? You wanted to curl down, right? You curled in on yourself. You curl in. You tighten up. Well, if you've got enough inflammation in here, this gets inflamed. It will curl in on itself, and this will become like beef jerky until the point that they cut this, and then they put these two things together, these two parts, and then what happens is the scar tissue here will create blocks, and a good chance it'll... Do you want to know what? With Wolf Non-Surgical and doing our perfect day diet, and with daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love, Black Gold, and by doing Wolf Non-Surgical, we can get this back to this. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? We are the answer. We're the answer. Just remember who's giving you guys a money-back guarantee when you go to do your work. When you give your money-back guarantee, if the person wants their money back, you can just have them call me and I'll give their money back. But then me and you are going to sit down and find out why they wanted their money back. Because I need you to get to a point that you don't have to do that, because you shouldn't. I'm telling you right now, in the last 7 years, we've only given money back once. And a lady came in. Yes, she came in with her husband. Her husband was like really keen to come in, and she says, so I just want to make perfectly clear that I get a money back if this doesn't work. I go, yeah, sure. So she goes into the room. Sage comes down, and I go, Sage, do not be disappointed, but this lady's going to either ask for her money back today or down the road. I think it was 7-10 days later. She calls up, wants her money back. And I see, Sage, you didn't fail her. She failed herself because she didn't want to come here and her husband dragged her. Oh, the games, eh? And then if you're a therapist, you're going to go, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. Start reading people. Start reading them. Okay? She wanted to make who wrong? Her husband. Okay. All right. So anyways, that's spasm. And then that spasm will tighten up. It'll start to become like beef jerky here. So just think about it. So there's that spasm. It's turned into colitis. Colitis. Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh my God, I heard it got colitis. You know, all it is colon-itis, colon inflammation. And we can reverse this. We can help them reverse it. I shouldn't be so arrogant. We can't do anything. We'll create the tools, the strategies, but what if they don't buy into it or get into the perfect day or believe in it, right? We already know that belief is 80% of all healing. Okay, so now from this restricted, this is restricted here. That's what this was. Look at how it's now backing it up and then stretching it out again. Okay? And then stricture. Don't you just love this one? This is not good. So now we've got the colitis right here gotten so bad it creates a stricture, and another one here. That person's going to surgery. They'll get this cut out and this cut out. But the problem is, this is already inflamed and impacted. The doctor, he might say we need to cut here, but if he only cuts here, the trauma, every time that you, okay, we're going to surgery. As soon as the knife goes in, the first place it cuts is where the beef jerky is and where the trauma is. I can go work on the cesarean scar from here to here, or here to here. I can work the whole area, but where he went in with the knife first, crying, screaming. Because you're crying and screaming now because every cell in your body, I already told you that, I'm going to keep saying it so you get it. Every cell in your body has a brain, has a liver, has kidneys, has intestines, has a spine. And as soon as you go in with the knife, those cells are screaming bloody murder. So when you even terrorize yourself all the time here, I already told you your cells will create a thickening. And that thickening around your cells, the elite cycles know this, that creates a thickening around your cells. And we all have a blueprint, our own signature antenna on every cell of our body, and it lets our spirit in. I can stand this close to Stephen, and guess what? He can feel my vibration, but the spirit comes in 24/7 into the cells. It just doesn't come down, it's here. So it's not like his is coming into me, but I can feel his spirit, I can feel his energy, but it doesn't come into me. It goes into him. But when you actually create a physical thickening around the cell, just as, did you notice here, if you walk into any of these thick wall cement buildings, you lose signal? You lose signal into the body. So if they can terrorize us enough and we create that thickening, we lose our spirit. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's lost her spirit. When you terrorize yourself enough, your brain goes on fire. And it says, now, I'm sorry, I apologize, but if I don't shut down, you're going to stroke out. So instead of doing that, just like the power bar that you plug too much in, your iPhone, if it gets too hot, it powers down. If your brain gets too hot, it powers down. And when powering down for us is called depression. So you go into depression. I don't know why I'm depressed. Yeah, because you terrorized yourself. You believe their bullshit. Their bullshit, his bullshit, her bullshit. You believe these systems that want to rule, school, and fool you, and now you're depressed. So now you're on depression drugs because when you're depressed, right, you're sad. Oh, and of course, if you're sad, you might kill yourself, so now we got to numb you out. And we don't want you to feel your sadness. We don't want to talk about your sadness. We just want you to shut the hell up. So then you go on those, but guess what? They bring you down even lower, and now you start having bad dreams, and you're having bad thoughts about killing yourself. Well, that's even cool. That's really cool. Welcome to your world. You just got set up. So when I tell you to smile, and you look at me and you give me that look, like, go screw yourself, Daryl. Just remember something. You just screwed yourself. You didn't screw me. I just think about you and think about the suffering you're setting yourself up for and how you are so emotionally and physically abused that you're so stuck. And don't tell me you're not constipated, because you have to be. I don't even know how you get those gold little rabbit nuggets out. Okay. Laughing helps. Okay, laughing does help. So colitis, okay? And then stricture, we talked about that. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Okay, so your transverse colon is supposed to be right under your ribs, right here. Has anybody had an abdominal lift? Guess what? Am I right or wrong? In one abdominal lift, we can lift your transverse colon up by 1 to 3 inches. We put it back because it falls down. Why does it fall down? Well, you get depressed. Hey, when you get depressed, does everything fall down? Does it feel like your face is falling off? Do you lose your hair? Okay. Does it feel like everything? When you're depressed, do you feel like this? Well, what do you think? Your intestine will slowly fall down. And if you eat a toxic diet, you're poisoning something. Your intestine is a muscle, yes or no?
Yes.
It's not like a dead snake. It's a muscle. So if it doesn't have any tone, what's it going to do? It's going to lay in you like a dead snake. So eventually, it starts to fall down. Now, when it falls down, do you guys know that this is a bridge and it's actually helping to hold your stomach up? So now your stomach even falls down. So, but what happens is when the transverse colon, which is called, falls down. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? You know what? You got this belly hanging down and out, right? Okay? If your belly's hanging down and out, then that means your transverse colon is ripping down. And it's down like this. So isn't that great? You already don't eat right. You eat the normal diet, and you have a normal 1-a-day poo, which is, I don't know what that is, guys, seriously. Okay? I mean, I feel, when I go to the bathroom, I feel cleaned out, fresh. Okay, now, here comes the fun. Remember, okay, take a look here. I want you to look at this. You see the small intestine? You see here the stomach? Well, look at this. If this falls down, what happens to the stomach?
It drops.
It drops. Now, if this falls down, what does it do to the small intestine?
Squish.
It doesn't just do that. It gets adhesions, and then this gets adhesed in here, and this squishes this too tight. Okay, your intestines are like a moist snake. You ever see how a snake moves really easy? That's because there's a mucus layer on it. You have mucus, a beautiful slick mucus in between your intestines. When I move around, okay, I don't feel anything. If you move around and you feel, a pull, that's an adhesion. A band of scar tissue has already locked it in. You have to get work done. That's an adhesion. I'll tell you something. When we're done here, if you want, probably be lunch, after lunch, I want to work on someone that when they move, they feel pulls in here. It will, okay, you're the one. Do you see? Why would you hesitate? We only have 4 donuts. Okay. All right. So those adhesions, that's why when you move, you feel a pull in here all the time, and you feel a pull from the same place, right? You got to go in there and get rid of that adhesion. Now that adhesion is issues in your tissues, and that's an emotional problem. Sharon, isn't it? Sharon, isn't it? Sharon?
Yes,
Is it gone yet?
it is.
Has it come back? No?
Nope.
But it will come back if she does what? Doesn't stand on guard for her heart. If she doesn't stand on guard for her heart, she will have problems with a fart. Not smart. Okay. All right. So if this is falling down, what's it doing to your bladder? What's it doing to your ovaries? It's cracking those eggs. What's it doing to the prostate? What's it doing to, why do you think you have cysts? So if this is falling down, would you call this strong? No, I'd call this a submarine. I'd call this a screen door in the submarine, and you're pooping right on your ovaries, your uterus, your fallopian tubes, and your bladder. And for men, your prostate's getting the living crap kicked out of it. Oh, I don't know how prostate cancer is going through the roof. Prostate cancer has gone up 40% in 5 years. Why don't you take a look at the way men eat? Why don't you take a look at the way they treat themselves and their women? Why don't you take a look at the shape they're in? You know, they keep rubbing their belly, you know, like it's they're going to get 3 wishes from the genie. You said it, I didn't. Okay, so anyways, so this is crushing everything down in this area. Oh, so if this falls down and you're pooping in your pelvis, but we know you've been pooping in your pelvis for a long time, what's that doing to the hips? What's that doing to the low back? Where do you think L2, L3, L4, L5 is? Right here. You rotted out your spine because you rotted out your pelvis. Oh, we just can't figure it out, man. All the greatest minds have come together, and yeah, you need surgery. Okay. Now, from here, 3rd degree prolapsus. Okay, so this here we call atonic transverse colon. This is the transverse. Now, don't you just love this one? How many people like going on, what do you call it, roller coaster? Okay, well, this is one you won't want to ride, okay? Okay, so the poop comes up. Well, let's just take a look here, because this is a better one. So here, small intestine, waste comes into the cecum. It's got to be triggered and climb up, yes or no? Yeah. Then it's got to go through this U-turn, really tight U-turn. So that it's got to come around the U-turn, so then you're going, oh, I think I got gallbladder problems. No, you don't. Look at this. Do you not think, okay, if I had a gas bubble, what's the chance of it coming up and then a gas bubble coming down or around and up and around a corner and coming out and then being able to come through here? Really? You see the guy that's like out like this? Okay? Okay. And understand something. I want to make this perfectly clear. Santa is not jolly. Okay? I just want to get that over to the side. Okay? All right. So, now the waste has to come up, come around the U-turn, come down into Death Valley, then come back up and climb, and then come down and see. But the problem is when this is like this, I want to show you something. Okay, you see here, right here, this here part is called the sigmoid. When that's like that, I should have had a picture on here. If I ever redo it, I will. This closes. This falls down on itself. When this comes down, it pulls off on this. So then this gets loose, and then this will actually close. And that's why from here to here is 60% of all cancer tumors for colon. Okay? All right. So you can see where the whole low back thing comes in, the whole hip thing comes in. All right, so let's take a look at this. We're almost there. So male. Take a look at this. So remember we were talking about the biggest problem, okay? Here's the prostate. Where's the prostate sit? Right around on the last corner of your poop. So understand something. When I first realized all this, which was years ago, I was around, I did my first colon therapy course. I opened up the North American Institute for Advancement of Colon Therapy when I was 28 years old. I did my first colon therapy course. I'll bring the book in to show you guys. It's a 300-page book that I wrote. It was used by the United States Senate group for the study of colon cancer when I was 32. Okay? When I realized, I was actually angry at the creator of everything, and then I thought, man, maybe it wasn't the creator of everything that created us. I really don't know. But the reality was, I said to myself, why would it be that the prostate, the main organ for males, is right on this last corner? If anywhere, geez, it should have been down here a little ways away or somewhere else, because look at this. If you get constipated enough time, what do you think you're doing? You're putting physical pressure and chemical pressure on the prostate. Don't tell me we don't know where prostatitis comes from, which is just inflammation of the prostate. Don't tell me we don't know where bladder infection, because guess what? You got your prostate and then your bladder sits right there, right on top of it. They're like, this is like, you know, hey guys, how you doing? You know, the three of them are just hanging out here together. So this is why it's rose so badly, because look at this. Let's say you were constipated, sluggish bowels, and then let's say you had a prolapsed colon. So let's just jump on top of the prostate, put pressure, physical pressure, and toxic pressure, and then trying to get the poop out. What do you think? We just found the cure for prostate problems, didn't we? We did. We found the cure for hip problems, spinal problems, and we also found the cure for 85% of all diseases, and that's not me, that's the medical system of Great Britain. So prolapsus with strangulation of male pelvic organs. A dysfunctional large intestine is the main cause of prostate and bladder to become inflammation and mutation. There's the cause of cancer, the main cause. Oh, and by the way, anybody out there would like to challenge me, I'll be back in about 10 days, and I need you to come on my show. Okay, so now we'll talk about women. Same situation. Look at this. Okay, look at this. I mean, when they built us, it was like, okay, let's give them a couple things. Look at how busy it is in here. Okay? You're not neurotic and psychotic. You're bringing life into the world. You're the caretakers of new spirits. We are so screwed. Look at the way women eat. Look at the way they treat themselves. And then we wonder why, you know, there's not loving in the oven. Look at the way they allow men to treat them. We don't need to worry. We're ending the planet anyways ourselves. They're just speeding it up. The reality is, life sucked before COVID for the majority. Not for me. It didn't suck before, and it's not going to suck after. Because it's none of my business. My business is guess what? I already do my part, don't I? I've got the biggest mouth of any of the friends I know, and most of my friends are some of the biggest speakers in the world.
And you're an awesome teacher.
He wants something. I don't know what it is. Thank you, Wayne. All right. Yeah, a lot going on, eh? Fallopian tubes, ovum, ovaries. You know, there's a lot going on in here. This is like the holy grail of everything. You never let a man go down or anyone else go in that area again unless they're coming in with unconditional love.
Yes, sir.
You never let anybody abuse you again. Do you know how many little broken boys out there? They come in and they think that women are like dogs because we used to spade women and dogs. I'm serious. You need to hold the line. You either go down there and pet it and make love to it or get the hell out of Dodge. Because I'm telling you right now, that's where all your hurt is. A lot of it's there. A lot of the breast cancer, most of the breast cancer actually comes from here. I can prove it, but we'd be here all day. It's all in my videos. And for those of you here who will be here for 9 months, you'll know everything I know and more. My practitioners need to be better than me. And I mean it. They need to be stronger. They need to be better than me. They need to hold the line. Okay, so here we got it. See here? I show it better. It's called a fishhook stomach. And that's why, well, guess what, when you have a fishhook stomach and your colon falls down? You've got, all your acid is not spread out properly because this is supposed to be lift up and come out wider, right? So now we've got it all concentrated in the bottom. That's a really bad situation. You're not going to digest your food well, are you? Okay, so now when the transverse colon falls, look at what you're squishing. Okay, and just remember something. When we go to do work here, okay, oh, look at this. You see the ovary? Okay, ovary. Guess what we got? Does everybody know what you have instead of your ovaries, around your ovaries now? You have a fist around it. Who would like me to go in and find the fist? I can do somebody this afternoon when we come back if you want. And then I'll show you the actual fist. And then if you get close enough, you can hear me actually pulling it apart. And it's the scar tissue around the ovaries trying to protect your ovaries because they've been inflamed so much. And so everybody's got the fist, and then some of you will have little sacs, a little sac there, and that's the pus. So would you rather have cancer of the ovaries or a pus sac? Okay.
I'll take that.
You would like a pus
No,
sac?
the one you're going to do, the releasing and the ovary.
Yeah? Well, I don't know. I don't think I can do you, though, because you're Oriental. Your fist might karate chop me. Okay.
Will it work? I mean, will it, somebody with me with two cesarean, I will have lots of scar tissues around there.
Oh, yeah. And I understand something. You can see her energy, right? Oh, don't mess with me. And I'll tell you something. If it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. It's your spirit that's keeping you alive. It's your determination. You know? You are like a superwoman. You are. You know that. You know that. Okay, all right. So you can see what goes on here. Now let's talk about over here, okay? So everybody's heard of polyps, right? Well, what are they? Polyps are warts. They're like warts inside your bowel. Now just think of the contaminated physical and emotional that you would have to grow warts in your bowel. Now go ahead, let them go in and cut the polyps off. You just are now one step closer to colon cancer. Well, I don't care if they want to challenge me. But remember something, they'd have to challenge me in court. They'd have to challenge me on my show. You don't go in cutting a polyp off. What you do is you go in, and remember something, if I were to put somebody on the perfect day diet, so just so you know, anybody's got polyps out there, if you want to grab any of you medical doctors or you colonoscopy specialists, if you want to get your worst polyp person, we'll put them on the perfect day diet, give them black diamond, black gold, daily cleansing tea, ultimate coffee enema, and in 6 weeks they have no polyps. The environment dictates who lives there. The environment inside your body dictates how long you live, how much you're going to suffer, what disease you're going to die from. And then we also know that it would be really great if we could go epigenetic, because there is no genetic. Got to go epigenetic. And we got to go in and take a look at the beliefs that actually created the polyp. Because the beliefs create the polyp because your beliefs decide what you're going to eat and how you're going to treat yourself. Yes or no? Yeah, so you know, it all starts with invisible to physical. So polyps are a walk in the park. Oh, but they could become cancerous. Yeah, so let's just cut everything off that could become cancerous, like our breasts. Oh, you might as well. And you know what? But you ever notice something? They have no problem going for the ovaries. But because it's a man's world, they will leave your testicles there for a long time, no matter what kind of pain you're in or suffering. Now, taking a woman's ovaries is so easy, but you are taking a woman's testicles. Do you understand? Yeah. They're just inside. Okay. All right. So fissure is a crack. So if you've had like a bit of diarrhea, but what you get is you get this constant fecal waste drip onto the rectal area. And what does acid do? It eats away at things. It dries things up. It dehydrates them. And then you have a poop coming through, and it tries to. There's no elasticity anymore. It's beef jerky, so it just rips it. That's what that is. You rip out. So what you got to do is you got to get on a diet that's going to loosen the stool up more, right? And then you want to do things like CBD suppositories, that are totally amazing. Our CBD suppositories have 250 milligrams. If you take a CBD of any sort orally, you only get 15% max. You do it rectally, you get 60%. They've done studies in France where they've shown doing CBD suppositories can actually get rid of brain cancer. Like, yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. Well, your rectum absorbs things better than any place else in the body, right? And that's why women are really double bonused. I mean, you know, start doing the vaginal infusions that we talk about, and start doing the CBD suppositories, and get the Wolf non-surgical and get on the perfect day, and you can heal any woman's pelvis. But then you can heal any woman anywhere in her body by working into the rectum and vagina with nutritional things, because it goes everywhere. Okay? Fistula. You'd be surprised how many women have fistulas. And men have them too. But women, it's dangerous. Now, oh boy. You'll know. You can have a poopy, fishy smell, your vagina. When you wipe, it's more browner. That's because you're actually pooping into your vagina canal. Because it's leaking waste right in there. And that's because the waste is caught there, and there's a little pocket, and the waste has been caught there for years. And the acid of that, and that's because of here, your poop is only going to be highly acidic if your mind was highly inflamed. And that's because you've been terrorizing yourself, because the world terrorized you first, and now you just run the program yourself. You're on autopilot for terrorism. So between that and then alcohol, sugar, flour, dairy, miscombining foods, constipation, that poop gets very toxic. It'll eat a hole right through into the vaginal canal. And when you wipe, it'll smell like poo, because it is. And that's why a lot of women will become infertile and have different types of things like ovarian cancer, or, fertility problems, and it goes on and on and on and on. See, they've taught us to not just not think about our large intestine, but they've actually taught us how to destroy it. Okay?
Women should never wipe towards the vagina.
Good. Did you guys get that? No, what they should be doing is they should never be wiping. They should have a bidet. You got to get one put in. You get one put in. That's the end of the story. No wiping.
No, we don't. We have this in Asia. We have the toilet seat that we have to wash. We don't have to change.
Yeah. See. Yeah. That's the way to go. They don't even. You have to special order here. So you want to what?
Costco, $300.
There you go. Okay. So let me ask you something. Is your vagina worth $300?
More than.
I know, but I have to say it. If I don't say it, they don't get it. Because guess what? It doesn't matter. Do you know why it doesn't matter? Until the majority's doing it, nobody does it. Do you understand? You're all ruled by, you do what the majority of women do. And I'm going to tell you something. If you want to rise, Don't do anything that the majority does. Absolutely nothing that the majority does. Because 92% of all women, okay, have an autoimmune disease. Isn't that cool? Okay, 49% of the women in here are dripping urine, for God's sakes. Wow. There's a pleasant thought. Okay. Not. It's rot. Rotten to the core because of root rot. Take it or leave it. Why do you think it smells so bad? Why do you think your breath smells so bad? Why does your armpit smell so bad? Why does it smell so bad when you go to the bathroom? Okay. Hemorrhoids, well, internal, external, too much toxicity, and hemorrhoids are also caused from what? Pushing down, right? You know, not moving couches, right? It's from pushing down. Your diaphragm's right here. So how many people, when you go to the bathroom, do you relax, open up, and let it go? Or do you have to help at all? If you have to help at all to get it out, you're not healthy. I want you to remember that, and you're going to go, that's crazy. No way. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah, it is true, because you're supposed to have a toned colon that works like a snake. Well, I feel like I got to go to the bathroom. Do you know when you have to feel like you go to the bathroom? That's because the cecum just triggered. So that means you've got time to get there. What's he doing? Oh, he's just buying his time. Right? You shouldn't have to run. And by the time I get there, I'm usually got this whole thing planned. I know how long it's going to take. I'm not there long enough to read a book, look at my phone, or do anything. I'm just there and I just go. And I just breathe and I let go of everything that I've been doing. And if you don't let go of everything outside the bathroom and you're busy up here, you're not going to be busy down there. That's how it works. Remember something. If you're stressed out, you can't digest. Can you? If you're stressed out, you can't poo. You got to be in a parasympathetic state. I'm just going to let my body take over, right? That's it. Okay. Internal, external hemorrhoids. They hurt a lot because there's a lot of pain fibers in the rectum. Like I told you already. Do you ever notice that when you're in a big hurry, you wipe your bum, pull your pants up, you start to leave and go, because soon as you tickle with the toilet paper, it triggers the cecum again if the cecum feels there's more waste to come out. Your body's highly intelligent. And that's a scoop on poop. What time is it?
11:58.
11:58.
No.
12:58.
12:58?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Tears and episiotomy is also causing scar tissue, and that's why most women have bladder issues.
Okay. You do whatever you want. But nobody's touching the women in my family. Why don't we just take lunch, and then why don't we just come back here and talk about all the good things that the medical system offers, and how that you've went there and you felt better. And you know what you're going to say? They saved my life, and I'll say something. They prolonged your life. Nobody can save your life. They prolonged your life because you shouldn't have been there in the first place, unless it was a sports accident or a car injury. Or you fell down the stairs, but then you shouldn't fall down the stairs, because guess what? We fall down the stairs when we're trying to commit subconscious suicide. Or we're trying to hurt ourselves to hurt our family that isn't paying attention to us. So I know I'm off track. The medical system, go watch my Medical Mafia. The medical system, are you like out of your skull? If you're going to the doctor more than once a year, how many accidents do you have? And if you're accident prone, then you're trying to commit suicide. Do you understand? You think about that. But don't think too hard because I need you to be in a peaceful state while you're having your lunch. Okay, so I don't want you coming back with cramps because then guess what? You're going to stink up the room. Have a beautiful one. Thanks for joining us. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it. Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited. What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time. Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite. You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together. So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart, and we're going to become the spark that you seek. Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in because you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win. I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited because this is your life. And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Good day, I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf. Do you know why you or your friends or your family are struggling with their health? Well, because they've never been given a strategy. And every time they go to see a health practitioner, whether it's medical or natural, all they're doing is getting Band-Aids. What if we were able to create a strategy that you could create the perfect day from the minute you woke up until you went to bed, and then we continue to guide and support you along your journey as you grow, your program grows. And what if you only paid one price, and you had unlimited support and guidance for the rest of your life? That's called the Perfect Day Consultation. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck. until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body, so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life, and that's my guarantee to you.